I haven't made a market watch video in a little while, so I figure I'd make one now, and I'm gonna keep it short. I was reading the news. See, a lot of people, they don't. I don't think they read enough news, and I like sit and read the news. I don't really watch MSNBC, CNN, or Fox because I'm tired of their rhetoric and their bullshit. I read a lot of different news stories. So I was reading international news. I was reading a lot about Philippine news. I was reading some things in Saudi Arabian actual news. I was reading Money Wise. I also usually read Market Watch on Facebook, but most of those guys are just making a lot of guesses, in my opinion. And I saw this little article right here, among other things. Susie Orman says avoid this huge mistake when refinancing your mortgage. Long story short, because I had already guessed what she was basically going to say before I even started reading it because I work as a mortgage broker. Usually, when people refinance their house, the biggest mistake they make is extending the loan terms just to get a lower rate or taking out money and ending up putting themselves into a higher rate just because they felt they needed money out of the equity. So there's actually a number of different mistakes that you can make. But before I even started reading this, I felt that the mistake that she was probably going to end up talking about was the people who buy a house and then they extend their term. So let's say you have a 30-year fixed mortgage and you only have 15 years left because you've been paying on it for 15 years. There are some people that'll get that 30-year fixed, and what they'll do is they'll extend it to another 30 years, and they'll get a very low monthly payment, but the problem is in the long run they end up paying like damn near 3 or 4 times what the house is worth, because even if the interest rate is low, you've just extended the payment on the house for another 30 years, when if you had just paid the shit off in that 15 years you had left, you would have come out better. But see, I've always tried to tell people who watch my channel about mortgage calculators like this Loan You Later, which I keep on making videos about and showing everybody. And let me also just say this. I was telling people long before COVID struck. I was telling people back in 2018, don't stop buying these fucking cars, leave these goddamn scat packs and leave these fucking track hawks and leave this shit alone. What y'all need to do is buy your property first and then come back and buy a house. And sure enough, with COVID hitting and then the government printing all these welfare checks and the inflation rate skyrocketing to the point where now your welfare check doesn't mean anything because now the price of everything's increased. Well, I have to just say I saw it coming. I mean, what can I say? I saw all of this. I didn't know COVID was itself going to be the catalyst. But I saw this coming, and I kept telling people, listen, you need to buy a house, you need to buy it, you need to have a property, and you need to start managing your wealth into that property. Because the thing about it is, if you're going to pay rent, you're not getting anything out of that. You pay rent, and I've told so many people this, but people don't fucking listen. So guess what? When you end up fucking broke and poor, and you don't understand why, that's when you'll understand what I was saying. It's fucking incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And I'm thinking about somebody in specific. Thinking somebody very, very, very specific. A couple of people very specifically, and it infuriates me because you try to get people to make decent, reasonable investment advice. You try to give them reasonable, decent investment advice, and they just say, you know what, fuck all that. I'm gonna waste my money. Listen, it's your money. You have a right to waste it however you want. But if you're gonna fuck up money and be stupid and make stupid fucking decisions, either because you're lazy or because you think that you're just gonna get rich quick, then you deserve what you get. Sorry, that's just how I feel about it. You deserve what you get. Don't come to me later. There's no point because I'm tired of it. I'm tired, and it's sad because I'm not the only financial advisor who gets people that ask them for good advice. You give them good advice, and then they're like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna take your advice. I'm gonna go fuck up." I mean, listen, everybody's entitled to do whatever they want. The only thing about it is don't ask me for no fucking loans. The bank of Big Truck Series is fucking closed, okay? So don't even come to me. Don't even come to me. I ain't got time for that shit. But it just drives me crazy. You try to explain to people. Guess what, idiot? If you're paying rent for 15 fucking years, you've got nothing out of it except when your landlord tells you, well, you know what, I want to raise your rent, or it's time for you to leave because I intend on doing something else with this property. Well, all you got to do is just fucking leave. Now, granted, there are some people out there who say, yeah, I'll pay rent and I'll save up money to buy a house. But that's really stupid because in the long run, time is ticking down. See, that's the problem. A lot of people don't understand time. And when we're talking about 30 years, that's a long motherfucking time. The whole point of a 30-year mortgage, is they assume that you're going to get married in your 20s. They assume that you're going to stay married. I'm not talking about this baby daddy and baby mama bullshit. I'm talking about they assume you're going to get married. They assume you're going to stay married. They assume you're going to pay this property off. And they assume you're going to retire in your late 50s, if not your early 60s. And they assume that this house is going to be paid off and that it's going to become an asset rather than a liability. What's the difference? The asset is accumulating wealth and paying some type of dividend. In this case, a house, the dividend you really get is your equity, number one. You also get a raise in the value of the house, number two. And number three, you have a roof over your head. What they don't think is that some idiot is going to keep on taking out fucking money from their equity and that they're going to keep buying boats and buying all types of bullshit like jewelry and spending money on this, that, and the other, and cashing out money for a wedding or a big-ass wedding. They don't assume that you're going to do stupid shit like that, but guess what? As a bank, they don't care because ultimately they're going to tax you. They're going to make money on it anyway, so they don't really care what you do. And if you fuck up and they foreclose on you, they're going to take this property back, and then they're going to resell it to the next idiot. The only way, and I've made videos like this before, but the only way that you can build wealth, especially if you've got a family, the only way you can build wealth and have it last intergenerationally without fear of it being fucked up is real estate. The reason why is because real estate's not liquid. If you have $1 million in cash, right? Because, most people who save money over a long period of time, specifically 10, 30, 20, 30 years, let's say that you have $1 million in cash. If you leave that to your kids, chances are your kids are going to fuck that money up. How are they going to fuck it up? Well, some of them will invest in fucking Bitcoin. They'll fuck it up. And they'll lose it, and they'll be wondering, well, I invested at 50,000. I thought it was going up because they told me it was going to be 100,000 by now. No, it's fucking not. We'll look at that later. The other problem is you got some kids that say, oh, well, yeah, my parents left me $1 million. I'm going to go out and buy a Lamborghini. Yeah, that's a waste of money. But here's the thing. If you have a house and that house is worth, let's say it's $1 million worth house. It's worth $1 million. And your kids are left that instead of cash money, chances are they're going to be like, you know what? I get to live in this motherfucker rent-free. I get to live in here mortgage-free. And all I got to do is work a little bullshit job and pay the taxes on this place and keep it, in reasonable condition. So that means I got to save up money because every 15 years I'm going to need a new roof. Maybe just like I got fucked last summer, I had to buy a oil tank in my second house. I had to buy a fucking oil tank for $5,000. It was actually $2,500, but it cost another $2,500 to have the shit installed because they had to come in. They cut the other oil tank out. But that's besides the point. Bottom line is, as long as your kids have a job and as long as you teach them to respect money and to respect work, they'll have enough money to be able to make repairs on that house. But once they understand how much money they're saving from not having to pay rent and not having to pay a mortgage, that in and of itself is the dividend. But some of these stupid motherfuckers do not understand it. It's just absolutely insane. And it doesn't matter how nicely you're told this shit, because Susie Orman, she comes out and tells you this shit real nice. Dave Ramsey, he has a little bit more force in it, and he talks about God and what God intended and all that. But it doesn't even matter how gently you get told this shit. A lot of people are determined to fuck up money. I had a conversation earlier with somebody who wants to start, I'll say a business, but it's a really stupid idea, but you can't tell them anything. And I'm like, you know what? You're going to do what you want to do. And whatever. It's like, you can't tell them nothing. And the second that you start trying to explain to them the reasons why this is a bad idea, they want to cut you off and they're, oh yeah, well, and they want to get defensive. And here you are trying to tell them, listen, idiot, this is a stupid fucking idea. It's like right now trying to invest in movie theaters when you know that the movie theaters are losing money and not paying dividends on their stock. Oh, kind of like these Redditors, the ones who lost all that fucking money when GameStop was $483 and now it's not. Kind of like them. You can't tell certain people. You can't tell them nothing. And the sad thing is, it's funny when these things happen and all these get rich quick pump and dump and Ponzi schemes pop up. All of a sudden, my phone starts ringing. And the fucked up thing is, before they even start talking, I already know, based on who calls, I already know what they're going to say. And sure enough, well, I told him, I gave him the best advice I could. I told him, listen, stay away from this shit. Stay away from this shit. If you want to invest, put your money, first of all, make sure you ain't investing if you still owe money on your student loans or if you still owe credit card debt. That's not investing. What you're doing is you're gambling. Once you paid off your student loans, once you paid off your credit card debt, and I'll even go so far as to say once you paid off your cars or once you paid off your mortgages, then you can really start investing. Anything short of that is gambling. That's the bottom line. Jim Cramer one time, he said that. He said, listen, your high interest debt is going to eat away your capital gains. And, most of the time Jim Cramer is wrong, but that was at least one thing that was a fundamental where he was right. It's disgusting. It's really disgusting. You try to explain the shit. Nobody's fucking listening. Nobody's listening. So my thing is, well, okay, go ahead. Go out there and fuck up your money. Go ahead. Go long on Ethereum. Oh, yeah, it's $4,000. Chances are it'll be $8,000 next week. Oops. No, it's not. Oh, shit. It dropped down to $2,500. Well, I guess you're not going to be able to make your rent or your mortgage payment this week, huh? Stupid. But that's just what it is. I tell you. And some people, you want to curse them the fuck out. And you want to tell them, hey, moron, you're wasting. But ultimately, these people are clients and they pay you for your advice, whether they take it or not. You're not allowed to just come right out and say, listen, you're stupid and you shouldn't do this and blah, blah, blah. You're not allowed to really, well, I mean, you can, but you lose a client. So it's not that good. But, yeah, as you can see, I'm very frustrated with a couple of people. I'm very, very, very frustrated. In fact, a little while ago, I was watching this guy Putin, and he was doing this press conference. And what I thought was so funny about it was America's media would have you believe that Putin has all his detractors arrested and this, that, and other. But when you listen to this guy, you understand the Russians picked this motherfucker. They don't want nobody else. They picked this guy because he stands right up and tells you to go fuck yourself. And this guy, I was watching this shit. No, I don't want to restart. Okay, I'll restart later. But anyway, he put down some comments. He said, we have a saying, don't be mad at the mirror if you're ugly. And I have a saying, if you point the finger, 3 fingers point back at you. How are you going to bring this guy on? And he already knows that America's been in the news for the last couple of years for civil unrest. So when this guy asked him, did he have somebody assassinated? The first thing he said was, did you order the assassination of Ashley Babbitt? And then he went on to talk about this Marine. He said, yeah, this guy got shit-faced on, and that's what he said. He said he got shit-faced on vodka and started a fight. He got arrested. He goes to prison. But what would have happened if he had fought a cop in your country? He'd have been shot dead by the cop. So the thing about it is, if you've got a glass house, you can't throw stones. And it's amazing because more and more I'm seeing that most of these other countries, they're not fucking playing no more. America's like the only country that you've allowed liberal feminism to soften up your population to the point where they're functionally retarded. They're failing every goddamn thing. You can't tell them shit. They're busy running around causing problems. You can't tell them a goddamn thing. They're sitting at home waiting for their next welfare check. And you're busy worried about Vladimir Putin? His people picked him to sit there and tell you to go fuck yourself. That's what they did. Now, ironically, they picked Trump to do the exact same thing on our side. Here's the problem, though. Trump was fighting a war on 2 fronts. He was fighting a war against Russia, he was fighting a war against China, and he was fighting a war against these people right here. So, granted, I understood right away he's not presidential. He had to go. So the liberals were going to wipe his ass out anyway. But now, here you are being confronted with all of these other countries, and they've got leaders who are not your puppets. And they have enough nuclear bombs and nuclear missiles and supersonic fighter jets that carry nuclear bombs and nuclear missiles. And now they can tell you, yeah, shut the fuck up. That's the discourse. That's the level of discourse right there, where other countries can now just look you in the eye and say, "Yeah, shut the fuck up. We don't give a fuck what you think. We're not uh, we're not treating the Uyghurs or the Uyghurs, whatever the fuck they call them. We're not treating the Xinjiang people of Tibet. We're not treating them no better. Your sanctions on us are a joke. We're laughing at them. Um, we'll do whatever we want. We'll make as much oil as we want. And that's just it. That's just it. So that's what you're dealing with. It's so sad. It's like you can't be honest with people anymore because they don't listen to that. What they listen to is when you tell them fuck off. That's when they start listening. They perk. All of a sudden their ears perk up. And they're like, "Oh, you can't say that." And then he'll come right back and it's like, "No, I told you, really, fuck off." And he says it, and there's nothing you can do because there's no Karen bullshit like when you go to Walmart. Excuse me, ding ding ding. Can I see your manager? There's no manager, motherfucker. I'm the manager. There's no. But that's just what you're dealing with. It's just amazing. I've been listening to this guy for an hour. I listened to the whole thing, an hour and 22 minutes, and then he did a post conference, another hour, where he continued to tell you to fuck off. And I'm just like, God damn, this is ridiculous. And we're supposed to fight. You can't fight that. You can't fight China. We fought them. You see how that turned out, right? How many dead Americans on it? 600,000? Oh, you guys want to have what is it called? A trade war? Oh, yeah. Well, we're still sending televisions to your country that are 80 inches for $500. You've already lost. It's incredible. I was having that other conversation. We were talking, every single conversation happens to be about Dodge vehicles. And I'm like, yo, listen, this is global politics. First of all, Canada's got less people in it than California. And we're paying these people all this money and buying all these $100,000 supercharged cars. And the superchargers and the engines are coming from Mexico. So we're keeping those people working. My thing is, you don't need to be a Sicario. You don't need to be an assassin down there. All you need to do is go work at the Chrysler shop. Keep these dumbass Americans driving around at 150 miles an hour in supercharged cars. This is global politics, baby. But y'all don't want to hear that shit. Y'all don't understand that shit. So anyway, I'm just going to get ready to end this because I wanted to talk about the dividend earners. First of all, let me send a huge shout out to NVIDIA. We're doing great. I was telling people about NVIDIA long before. I was telling people about NVIDIA, AMD, and Logitech. Back when Logitech and AMD were $50, they were less than $50. Logitech's $123. NVIDIA, I was talking about them right before they did the stock split. Well, the stock split's coming up in July. I bought a lot of NVIDIA, but I bought it like below $300. NVIDIA has like doubled my money already, and they've gone up $80 since I told you in the video that I made about the fact that they had announced a stock split. And I just made those videos because a lot of people don't pay that much attention. So I was like, okay, if there's a stock split, I'm going to put it out as news and let everybody know about it, just in case you didn't pay attention. But I'll tell you, man, it's just incredible. I mean, I put money in Visa, MasterCard. MasterCard's fucking, what is this? MasterCard is, what, $367? I got my money. I got my money in all of these dividend paying stocks. So, and right now, I'm still loving gas and oil. See, it's sad because y'all are complaining about gas and oil, and I am making so much off of the actual dividend from the gas and oil that I don't even care. Because I told you, I'm an oil man. I told you to get in. But no. I want to put my money in Safe Moon. I want to put my money in Shibu Inu because it has a picture of the dog. I want to put my money in Ethereum. We're going to the moon. We're going to Pluto. We're going to Jupiter. Well, let's look at that right now. Let's see how they're doing. Oh, well, yeah, we're going to Jupiter. Oh! Whoa! Wait a minute. This don't look like the fucking moon. Whoa, what is Bitcoin? What is it, 35,000? What happened to the other 30,000? It was at 64. What happened? What happened, Elon Musk? What happened? I thought we were supposed. They would. I swear to God, these goddamn crypto girls. What were they saying? Oh wait, yeah, Bitcoin's gonna be $100,000 at the end of the summer. Now, mind you, they were saying this when it hit 60,000. That's what they were saying. And here I am watching it hit 60,000. I'm like, wait a minute, this is bullshit. It's not. These people are gonna sell out of these positions. It's not. Oh no. We going to 100,000. I swear to God, I was listening to one of these guys. I think he was battling some other. I can't. It'll come back to me. The motherfucker said Bitcoin was going to 1 trillion, and I was like, "You out of your fucking mind? There's not even enough money." Like, I was like, you know what? No, I can't do that. I can't do it. First of all, it's got a $21 million market cap. The majority of people are battling over Satoshis. You're not even getting. If you don't hold one Bitcoin in its entirety, all you've got is some Satoshis. You're fighting over Bitcoin crumbs. Satoshis, motherfucker. It's like 21 million is the cap, and you think that this is going to replace the US dollar? Are you fucking retarded? I guess you are. When I was looking at Ethereum earlier today, now you could see the price change yourself. It was $2,300. This shit is going down like a stone. Litecoin a couple weeks ago when Bitcoin was like $64,000, Litecoin was like $309. Where the fuck is it now? SafeMoon. Oh no, we are going to finance a safe trip to the moon. Well, how the fuck do you get to the moon when you can't even hold a value of 0.00004? Now, I'll say this, because the thing about it is people who know me know that I mine crypto. And the thing about it is I refuse to put my own money or my own capital into this shit. But what I can say is that it is a way of hedging against the possibility of something happening. Like, for instance, somebody said, do me a favor and make a video about how to buy SafeMoon and how to buy Dogecoin. Now, mind you, Dogecoin wasn't even on Coinbase. Coinbase fucked themselves over because Coinbase took XRP Ripple and they took Dogecoin out of their system because the government said you can't trade XRP. And there's a couple of other things the government said you couldn't trade. Like if you're in New York, like I'm a New York State resident, you can't trade Tether because they said Tether's like another Ponzi scheme. And they basically said exactly that. So my way of hedging is to buy. What I do is I mine Bitcoin and then I use Coinbase or I use Trust Wallet or Webull in order to exchange Bitcoin into other things. So it's like this. As far as, and I'm gonna make my position clear. These things are Ponzi schemes. That's the bottom line. It's 10,000 different cryptocurrencies. It's all Ponzi schemes. All of them Ponzi schemes. However, that does not mean that if you don't get in early enough, you can't make money. And it's a speculative asset. It's a Ponzi scheme. But the bottom line is, with any Ponzi scheme, these things are basically just like, what are those things? Penny stocks. With any Ponzi scheme, as long as you get in early enough, yes, you can make some money, you can make some gains. The problem is the majority of the people who are getting in are not getting in early. They're getting in after the fact. We have a simple rule in stocks. It's called buy on the rumor, sell on the fact. The majority of these people are buying on the fact. That's not how you're supposed to do it. You're getting in late. So the morons, just like Elon Musk, who decided that, oh yeah, well, I'm going to take $1.5 billion. And by the way, he smokes weed. Just let's keep that in mind. The guy smokes weed. Yeah, I'm going to put $1.5 billion, and then I'm going to say, yeah, well, we're accepting Bitcoin, and you can buy a Tesla with it. Yeah, all of that sounded cool over $50,000. Right now, to the average Tesla investor, it don't sound that good now. Not at $35,000. Now, Elon, if you had gotten into Bitcoin, I don't know, at $5,000, well, yeah, okay, yeah, your philosophy might hold some water. If you had gotten in at 20,000, I don't know, your philosophy might hold some water. When you buy in over 50,000, Nah. And by the way, if anybody wants to say, oh yeah, well, Elon's super rich, who are you? You know who I am? I'm the motherfucker who didn't take government subsidies to get where I am. I've never taken a dime of welfare. The only welfare I ever got was that stimulus check that Bush gave us that was $600. And I didn't even get any welfare checks from Trump or from Biden because I make way too much money and the government refuses to give me anything. Meanwhile, they're up there financing your bullshit where you're taking your crypto money and you're spending your welfare checks trying to finance a safe trip to the moon. So I didn't see nobody. The government never gave me tax breaks. They never gave me $7,500 tax breaks per car I sell. That never happened. The government never gave me hybrid parking lanes. And by the way, let me just tell you this. Every time I see one of those hybrid parking spaces, I park in it. And I don't have a hybrid. I park in it as a protest. Not only that, but I'm lazy and I don't want to have to walk that far to the store, and I don't feel like having to carry my shit that far from the store back. So, yeah, when it says hybrid vehicles and alternative vehicles only, I park right in those fucking spaces. Because as far as I'm concerned, that is unconstitutional. So you're telling me that because you're wealthy or rich and you choose to buy one of these shitty electric cars, you're telling me that you're special? That no, let me tell you something. I'm just going to say it just like that. My SRT burns gas and it burns oil and it burns tires. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a hybrid. And I'm parking right in those hybrid spaces. And that's right. I said it. Yeah. So that's just what it is. But in any event, government never gave me any special parking spaces. So for all these people who got their hands out waiting for them welfare checks, even Elon Musk, and waiting for that subsidy, and waiting for these subsidies that are making him really rich, you're nothing to me but a welfare cheat. That's the bottom line. So that's just what it is. I said it. And I wanted to make a video about how to buy SafeMoon or Shiba Inu. But what was funny was the value kept dropping over the last 3 weeks. The value just kept on dropping. So I was like, wait a minute. Would it be fiduciarily responsible for me to make a video showing people how to buy into something that is a depreciating, because it's a depreciating asset by definition? The shit is going down. Even XRP was $1. Ripple was $1.03 or $1.30 less than a month ago. It's 75 cents right now. Every single day I look at it, it goes down more. And my thing is, it's like, wait a minute, I don't want to tell people how to buy this shit. Let them go somewhere else. And my thing is, the best I can do is tell them not to buy it. Stellar Lumen's down. Everything's down. Oh, don't worry about it. This is just a bear market. We're going to the moon. Don't worry about it. This is just you know what this is? This is a crypto sale. It's on sale. We're going to the moon. You know what you got? You know what you got? You got paper hands. You gotta have diamond hands. You can't have paper hands. You've got cabbage hands. You gotta hold the line. Hold the line. And I gotta argue with these people. I was watching, this is the last thing I'm going to say, because I tell you, that I could go on and on about this. I was watching this crypto guru. I'm not going to, well, no. Let me clarify that. This person is not a crypto guru. This person is a wannabe crypto guru. They have less than 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. And the motherfucker said, oh yeah, Bitcoin is a store of value. As soon as I saw that shit, I was like, no, I can't watch this. I can't listen to this shit. There's nothing about cryptocurrency that stores any value. The only people who think that these things are stores of value do not understand money. Gold is a store of value because it has intrinsic qualities. Gold can be used to make computer components, to make wire. It has a certain melting point where you use it to make jewelry. You use it to make gold teeth. Gold has been a store of value since the dawn of man. Always. Ever since they found gold, it's been a store of value. Silver can be used for scalpels, medical equipment. It has antibacterial properties. Silver can be used to make wiring if necessary. Silver can be used to make bullets to kill werewolves. Um, Bottom line is, it has intrinsic value. Copper can, same thing, commodity. But the strange that all of these commodities have shot up in price, especially lumber, because you need lumber to build houses, which is why I keep talking to people about buying houses. You know why? They store wealth. Houses are a store of wealth. Yeah, that's right. You can store wealth in a house because that means not only do you get to keep a roof over your head, but you also get to pass it down to your children. When you're dead, your children will hopefully keep that house in order, and then they get to pass it down to their children. And guess what? They don't have to pay. They don't have to pay rent. They don't have to pay a mortgage. All of my Jewish friends, all of my Asian friends understand that. Why is it that my American followers don't?